Welcome everybody here to the Rebels Arca series for what we call the Warren School of Racing Etiquette Arca series. And man, ready for tonight. Gonna be a blast as we take on Homestead Miami Speedway. And here it is right there, located in Homestead, Florida. Opened in 1995, 1.5 miler, but one of the best in the service. And tonight we're going to hit that thing wide open. We're going to be up at the top of the track, down at the bottom. We're going to be in the pits and maybe a couple folks in the stands. As, man, we got a big field here tonight to see who is going to lock themselves into the next round. We're halfway through the round of 8, and we're getting ready this week and next week to set the final 4 for the Arca series. So only 3 races remaining right now. Jason Warren sitting atop the point standings. Michael Kostick right behind him, tied with Alan Wernicke. A couple drivers down at the bottom, Josh Oswald, Jonathan Cofield, who have opportunities tonight to get it done and get themselves in the show for the final 4. Lots of deserving drivers. We've got about 15 seconds before we hit the grid. Let's look at some sponsors, man. I want to thank a lot of people that make all this stuff happen. Kinder Farm and Ranch, Chuck Pegleg Felts, Warren School of Racing Etiquette, Bubba's Tire Barn, and we'll get all of them by the end of the race. But man, tonight gonna be a blast. Arca Cars at Homestead, man, never failed to deliver. Homestead here lately has been just a amazing track to watch them racing. Tonight's not gonna be any different. As you're gonna see some guys venture up to the top line, try to make some speed up there, and they will. But you got to take care of your tires. So. Going to be an interesting race for sure. But gridding up already, so let's go ahead and get the grid going. Let's talk through this thing, see where everybody will start tonight. We've got to give out the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, and that's going to go to Jonathan Cofield, doing it right, starting on the pole. That's what you got to do here at Homestead. Get out front. Michael Kostick's teammate starting outside front row. Michael Nash starting in that 3rd position. Daniel Pope starting in 4th. We're going to see him probably rocket to the front pretty quick. Alan Wernicke, you know what? Talked about him all season about not qualifying, and man, here tonight, starting in 5th place, he's going to be right up front. Aaron Adcock showing the way for Poe Man up in 6th position. Jason Warren right behind him in 7th. Andy Kurtz next to Jason in that number 5 machine for BK Motorsports, starting in 8th. Starting in 9th, Brandon Pollock. Starting in 10th, Tyler Rice. Starting 11th, Cody Bain. Starting 12th is Travis Bieber. Starting 13th is Brandon Wallace. Starting 14th, Jason Lottridge. Starting 15th is Josh Oswald. Starting 16th, Chuck Pegleg Felts. Starting 17th, William Griffith. Starting 18th, Michael Morrison. Starting 19th, Steve McDonald. Starting 20th, Jesse Necula, and Charles Stevens bringing up the rear of the field. Boy, that is a big old field here tonight. Look at them. Congratulations again to the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, Jonathan Cofield. As we've got just a few seconds before everything gets going, so let's talk about something that's pretty important. As today is Veterans Day, so want to shout out to all the veterans, man, all of the folks who served in the military, protecting our freedoms. I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. It's an honor to be friends and call friends with people who served in the military, and this place at Rebels was founded on that very thing. So just an awesome day. I want to thank them, and we'll highlight a couple during the race, I'm sure. You'll see Chuck Pegleg Felts and the U.S. Marine car go around this track. So race analysis, let's talk a little bit about what we got to go on today. Is Arca Menard Chevrolet Impala. We got 100 laps, 3 sets of tires. So that means 1 that got on now, 2 extras, and a fixed setup. So you ain't got much tires, and you're gonna have to take care of them, be smart, and we have a bunch of cautions. You got to pick and choose when you take those tires, and that's going to be very, very important. But green flag getting ready to come out here. Mike Kostick actually out in front. Don't know what happened to Cofield. He's in pit road. Don't know if he had to start from the pits. A penalty I'm not aware of. But green flag is out, and Kostick going to have a little bit of a lead here as they go down into turn one. But so far, so good as we watch these cars go around this 1.5 mile racetrack in Miami. You see them all fanned out, some 3 wide, 2 wide, some single file at the back just ready to ride. But man, look at them driving deep into 3 and 4. Kostick has the lead, but you see Daniel Pope working the top side. You see a couple guys doing it, trying to get that speed off the top side of the track. It is a very good place to make a pass, but you got to be careful. You can't spend too much time up there, or you'll end up burning those tires up. So you got to pick and choose when you do it. You see Andy Kurtz up there. He is trying to make it work right now, and he's not afraid to get up there and make that top side work. But right now, Michael Kostick out into the lead, but he's got Michael Nash and Daniel Pope right behind him as they come through to take lap number 4 here. 100 laps. Oh, Jason Warren in the wall a little bit. He's stuck. Gets stuck to the wall a little bit, but able to get off of it. Not the way you want to start it. Don't want to get that stripe too early, but you see he is a playoff driver. We'll get the standings up. You'll see the green highlighted, folks. If I put the tower up and put the ticker back up, they'll be green as well. But that notates your playoff driver, so you can keep track of where everybody's at as we watch Jason Warren go to the inside of Aaron Adcock to take over that 6th place position after losing a couple spots there, getting into the wall. So far, Andy Kurtz really the only driver that is seems to be pretty much dedicating himself to running up top, as he I've seen him up at the wall pretty much the whole time. So might as well get used to it. You don't want to get to the point where you, as soon as I say that, he goes down to the bottom, but you want to practice. You don't want to make the mistake of needing to jump up there real quickly and not be able to do it, not know how to drive it. So you need to get a little bit of practice in. But Andy Kurtz already made up 3 spots. You see how difficult it is. The car just wants to chase up the racetrack, and you have to keep going up until you get that right rear on that progressive banking. Once it hooks up, man, it is gone. You can almost kind of see the car tilt as he puts the right sides up there on that top seam, and boy, it rotates that car. Around you go, and you can end up in the wall, you can end up spinning out, or you can end up with a huge run down the back straightaway. So be watching for that all night long. One of the best tracks on the service for sure. You see it really getting up there. You see it right there, getting a little bit loose off the corner. That's the danger of it. So far, got a couple big movers. Charles Stevens right now, he is the biggest mover. He is up 8 spots from where he started from 13th now. And he is moving in that 88 machine. Charles not in the playoffs, but man, he is the previous season's champion. Won in the Final Four the last race of the season with a great late race run, and was able to take that championship. So he's got bragging rights already. He's a past champion. So until someone takes the crown at the end of the season, he is still the champ. So no matter where he runs, but right now he's running on the outside of Jason Lottridge in that City Chevrolet number 48 machine, trying to make his way towards the front. And that 88 machine looks really, really good. Especially looks good when it's got that Rebel Racing Network logo right there on that right rear quarter. I like to see it. Having a little bit of trouble making this pass, but it's better safe than sorry. Take your time. Go back here a little bit. We got a nice little battle here between Josh Oswald, the 114 of Travis Bieber, Jesse Nekula, which is glad to have him. Pretty common mainstay in Rebels for a long time. So it's good to see him back. Ran both races tonight. Currently, you know, up a spot from where he started, but started at the very back, slowly trying to make his way to the front. We go check out the lead. Mike Kostick out front right now, but Daniel Pope has been able to take the second spot away from Michael Nash in that number 27 Valvoline machine. And Al Renecki not too far behind. So a couple playoff drivers up here in the top. And Daniel Pope, Michael Nash up here trying to beat the spoilers up here. Mike Kostick would love to get that win and punch his ticket. You know, and I really should know, but I can check real quick and see. But I can't remember exactly who is locked in. We'll see. Daniel Pope won last week, so nobody's locked in yet. So Michael Kostick love to get up there and get the win, be there at the end, and lock himself in so he don't have to worry about next week. Pretty much the whole top six, you can kind of throw a blanket on, and as far as times that they're running, all dang near even times. Jonah Cooper saying that the overall master volume is a little bit low, so we'll turn everything up, turn this up too. As we watch the cars come off a corner. Nobody up in this little group is really running that top side. Jonah, let me know if it's better now. Everybody's sort of working the bottom. That's what you have to do. I think, you know, once you get up to somebody, then you jump up to the top, try to make that top side work. I think if you're side by side with somebody, the top side, you're most likely going to win. So you got to pick and choose. If you're Daniel Pope, you got to be careful. You don't go down to the bottom trying to pass the 3 car and Nash there to take advantage of it on the outside. See, this battle for first is really picking up after only 13 laps. You see Pope running that a little bit higher line, going to get the run down the straightaway. You know, these type of tracks, when you're equal, fixed setups, and pretty equal skill, it takes 2 or 3 laps to really make this work. You really have to set somebody up for about 2 laps before you actually make the pass. So got to search around, find some speed. You see Daniel Pope looking down to the inside, getting some clean air on that nose. You'll see the 3 kind of not able to get down to the bottom, interestingly enough. So he looks like he might be protecting that top side. But Daniel Pope is there. Let's see what they're able to do. See if Kostick can defend that lead position. You know, it's so tough. It's so difficult to pass. It's hard to say whether you should fight hard or not. I think if I'm in Kostick's position, I'm going to fight pretty hard. He's still pretty good on points, so it's not like he needs to have the win. But man, that sure does make it a whole lot easier to get a win, and you don't have to worry about next week. You know you're going to move into the Final Four. But let's go check in on some playoff drivers. So you see Kostick passed by both drivers there. Al Renecki right behind him, sort of stalking these 4. And then right behind them, you got Andy Kurtz, who is not a playoff driver. But might as well be, man. Just a really fast driver. And then right behind him, Jason Warren. We saw him get into the wall. Jason Warren, you know, I don't want to pump him up too much, give him a broadcaster curse, but man, I tell you, this season I've seen a big difference out of Jason. Tire saving has gotten way better. Just overall, you know, making less mistakes. Last season, just made a lot of mistakes as we see the drivers coming off of turn 2 there, but made a lot of mistakes, a lot of pit road issues, a lot of you know, getting loose, hitting the wall. But this season has really learned to finish races. I mean, he won a fantastic short track racer. Admittedly, big track stuff not his forte, but man, this season, I tell you what, has made a bunch of strides in being able to get to the end of these races and finishing. and it shows. He's currently the points leader. So right behind him, got Aaron Adcock. Not in the playoffs, but that ain't going to stop him coming up here trying to get this win. Drop a spot back from where he started, so struggling just a little bit. About 3 seconds behind that front group, but got a long way to go here. Only on lap 18 out of 100, so we've got quite a bit left to go. Cody Bain, also not a playoff driver, but one to watch, man. There's just a lot of people in this Arca series. It's such a weird series to look 20, 15 spots back and see somebody who is able to win races and get these things done. So Arca series is one of the most stacked series out of Rebels. That's for dang sure. Right behind them is Brandon Wallace. Fuel saving extraordinaire. Currently up 4 spots, running in the 9th position. Rounding out the top 10 is Tyler Rice. And Charles Stevens on a tear through the field, up 10 spots right behind him. The next playoff driver, you got Josh Oswald, who started around 15th, made up a couple spots. He is in the next 2 weeks going to be in a pretty much he's in a must-win situation. He made the race last week, so gotta get that win to move on to the Final Four. But it's going to be a tall order, I think. Going to be really tough. Right now, he's sitting at 12th. Now, one driver I'm curious about is Jonathan Cofield. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he had a stop and go. He qualified outside the front row, but I could probably get that clarification. But it looked like he had to either start from the pits or, not really sure what happened to him. But currently running in the 21st position, I believe. Let's see, he's quite a few laps down, I would imagine. No, he's not. He's not. He's on the lead lap, so gonna need a caution, but let's go back up front. Michael Nash not playing around. Thought maybe Pope might pull away, but Michael Nash, man, has been extremely, extremely fast. And as the tires start to wear out, we're going to start to see who is saved the most, who is, got a little bit of tire left. Even if you got a little bit of tire, can you pass? That's what I want to see. I want to see if Michael Nash, we see the 16 get loose. That's a good way to get a pass, is for the guy in front of you just to lose the thing. So on board with Michael as he's working that top side. We talked about it, getting the run off the corner. And you see he's going to get the run, go down to the inside. It's going to be tough to make it. Just depends on what Daniel Pope willing to do. You see Pope kind of gets out of it on the entry to the corner and basically gives him the spot. So Pope not fighting hard. You can see that 16 kind of yawing out off the corner and that the fellow's arms inside kind of going back and forth. So he's really getting with it. Another playoff driver that I didn't mention right now is almost dadgum near 3 wide in that number 1 Pennzoil car, and that is Brandon Pollock. Man, he's another one who could rip a win off at pretty much any time. So got a lot of work to do, man. Oh, and he gets a little bit loose there as he trying to get by these guys, and man, he is struggling. I can tell you, he dropped 8 spots from where he started. He started inside the top 10, currently running in 7th place. Man, just a tough night so far. I don't know if he was up there running the top. He's pretty known for jumping up there like Andy Kurtz, getting up there quick up top. And so it's hard to say what happened to him. But you can see that right side of that 1 Pennzoil machine as he comes by here. You see there's a little bit of scrape on it, so he's already been in contact with that wall. Let's check this little cluster of cars here. Watch this battle. Charles Stevens all the way up in the cushion. It seems to not be as quick as, look at Brandon Wallace and Josh Oswald. A little blocking going on lap 26. We're only a quarter of the way in, fellas. I love it, though. I love it. Racing your guts out every single lap. That's what you got to do. And you see Chuck Pegleg Felsen at 75. And we got a nice little 4-5-6 car battle. Charles Stevens breaks into the top 10. Gonna need a caution to really do something big with it, but if we get the caution, that 88 looking pretty scary right now, as he has been able to make up a ton of spots where most folks are not able to. Show him that's why he's the champ. I see a couple spots here and there, but Charles Stevens, 12 spots. Ain't nobody even close. If there's a hard charger, he is going to get it if he can hold steady. Jonathan Cofield made up a couple spots so far. Passes Michael Morrison and William Griffin. Griff Dozer in the back. Griff's struggling just a little bit, but good to see that Cofield able to get back in this thing. Going to need a caution, very similar to Charles Stevens, to really get into the competition side of it, but qualified outside front row, there's no reason why he can't do it with a caution. But in playoff racing, you got to get as much as you can. If we go green all the way in, get on the pit road, get off, make up as many spots you can. Let's go up front. Got us a little battle brewing. Daniel Pope figuring it out, getting back out there, hunting him down. Let's go on board with go on board, Mr. Pope. See what he's looking at. Just see how much that tape is going to the right as he's able to get the outside line on Michael Nash. Should be able to drive it pretty deep in here. Like I said, just let that right rear sip above the seam like that. Get back on the gas. And you see how much he wants to rotate as he's counter steering off the corner, trying to make it work. He should have the run here as Mike Kostick able to join the battle. But you got a three-way battle for the lead here on lap 31 as we've been green the whole way. Guys driving their guts out but doing a great job. And we've got a three-way battle for the lead. Michael Kostick, one of the best tire-saving sons of guns you'll ever see. And so it's no surprise to see him right into the mix as the tires start to fall off. It's sort of a fixed setup racing. With skill levels as close as they are, it's sometimes just a matter of, you can save a little bit, then you go, and then you realize, oh gosh, I went too early, and now the guys who, they saved a little bit, now they're going, and then you save a little bit, and it's kind of, the difference could be just when you decide to go, how often, how patient you can be to continue a strategy of saving tires. And you see Pope just able to complete that pass, and now takes that number 16 Chevy Impala up to the front. Michael gonna settle in that second place position, and now Michael Kostick looking down to the inside. Side by side off of 2. Kostick not quite there just yet. Going to drive down into 3 and 4. Try to get that position on him, but let's see how good the 27's tires are. Should get a run here. If not, we'll know he has cooked them. And 3 able to pull up in front of him and move Michael Kostick up to second place. As we see the sun starting to set here, the track going to go through some changes as the lights come on, and the track starts to cool down just a little bit and start to pick up a little bit of grip. You have to search around, find some different lanes to run, try some different things. You can't run the same thing the whole time, especially when the track transitions. As we got pit stops happening. see the pit indicator there on the screen. Jason Warren comes down pit road, takes that 45 machine. He's going to get 4 tires and fuel. Get back out there. A little bit of a short pit for him. So hopefully he can get out there and make up some time. But right as I say that, Michael Kostick going to come down pit road. Daniel Pope still out there with Alan Wernicke. Ooh, Michael Nash really getting on those brakes, trying to get that Taurus slowed down. And, Jesse Necula has crashed, I believe, and immediately exit towed, so he's back in the pits. But don't know what happened. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened to Jesse there. Kinder Farm and Wreckage Rewind. Oh, man, no, just coming out of pits. You know what? Looks like he he did that on purpose. Definitely no wreck. So must have had something to do. I don't know. And exits out of the race, so he is out. So I don't know what happened to him, but right now, Alan Wernicke is your leader as Daniel Pope, Aaron Adcock all come down pit road, as it is just a everybody making their pit stops. So only 4 drivers have yet to pit. That's Alan Wernicke, Cody Bain, Brandon Wallace, and Brandon Pollock. All are still out on the track. Alan Wernicke coming down pit road now. Stays out, lead a lap, get a bonus point. That's not a bad move, I don't think. That leaves Brandon Wallace in that 99 machine, Reaper Racing. Gonna stay out as long as he can. You know, you would think that you would change up your strategy. Everybody knows what you're gonna do, Brandon. You get out there and run until the gas runs out. Do something different, short pit. Do something else. I don't know. Gotta be a little unpredictable sometimes. But you see the 99 slowing down, make his way on pit road. It's actually a really tough pit road to get on here. You got to make the commitment line, and really, really tough to get it slowed down on old tires. But he's able to do it. So we'll see after they come around as Alan Wernicke bleeds up right behind Michael Kostick. So those two running, going to be second and third. Daniel Pope actually a good bit ahead of him, so about a second, 1.1 second ahead of those guys, and the difference being the pit lap time. Daniel Pope just did a much better job than Michael Kostick getting on and off pit road, so made up a lot of time entry, a lot of time on exit, and that was a little bit of the difference there. So able to get out with a 1 second doesn't seem like much, but it can be. Less draft for Michael to use. It makes Kostick have to push that number 3 machine a little bit harder than he wants to catch him and not let him get away. So it's really, really hard if you're in Michael's position not to push that car too hard, burn your tires up. Out the front windshield of Daniel Pope, you can see that one machine of Brandon Pollock. Brandon just struggling tonight on the tail end of the lead lap, about to go a lap down. Looks like Brandon just having a tough time keeping the rear tires gripped to the racetrack. Just a little bit too much throttle on exit. See him up there trying to run the top side. He is going to fight a little bit, but I just don't think he's able to hold off this 16. Daniel going to slide up in front of the one machine. So Brandon Pollock now the first driver, 1 lap down. Got about 14 seconds to the next driver, so he is the lucky dog. Caution does come out Doesn't have to fight too hard. You see him get loose there. Real bad loose on throttle. Doesn't have to fight too hard. He'll get the lucky dog if a caution comes out. He just doesn't need to be the caution. That would be disastrous if you're trying to get this race back on the get back on the tracks. All right, let's go check in. Jonathan Cofield working his way through the field if he can. He's going by Tyler Rice. Tyler Rice losing a couple spots there, or trying to anyway. Brandon Wallace going to look down to the inside and able to take that position on the entry. Going to slide up in front of him, and that gives Brandon Wallace the 16th position. Got a lot of good battles going on all over the track. Got Chuck right behind these guys. Brandon Wallace with those little bit fresher tires. Cofield pitting on lap 36. Brandon Wallace on 38. Both these drivers looking to try to make up some ground here, as they are some 16 seconds behind Daniel Pope, our leader. Well, while we're watching this battle, and I'm going to cover it up with the schedule, as you'll look at the Arca schedule here, and you'll see, man, what a season it's been. Fantastic season. And we are down to the last 3 races. We got Homestead that we're at right now, then Rockingham next week, which will be a blast. You know, if I'm Michael Kosick, I'd love to get that win, so I don't have to try to win or keep my head above water at Rockingham. And then we finish off at Charlotte, which is, man, that's going to be a blast. So, been a fun season. Hate that it's almost over, but looking forward to the next one. We'll go and check out this little battle here. Got Griff, Jason Lottridge. Jason, playoff driver in the playoffs, looking to maybe get himself locked into the Final Four, or get in there points-wise. Going to be tough to do from 12th, but still a lot of time in this race. We're just now getting to halfway, so plenty of time to get back up there. A little bit of pit strategy may work out. Everybody had to pit. It's definitely a 2-stop strategy, as we didn't have enough fuel to make it to halfway. You know, they're on their second set already, so if a caution comes out, we're going to have an interesting decision here. I mean, you know, right now, Daniel Pope last ran a 34.48, so 34.5. His best lap's a 33.8. So, you know, after just a few laps, about 10, 12 laps, I mean, we're already falling off a second. So tires do make a huge difference. But you only have 1 set left. You only had 3 total. So we talked about that at the beginning of the race. That's just not that's not a lot of tires to play with. Makes it for some pretty good strategy, but just makes it a tough call here. You know, if a caution does come out, you're gonna take your last set. So I just don't think you can risk it. I think if a caution comes out now, I think you got to just come down, get fuel, no tires, and save that set. It's gonna make a huge difference later on. So if we stay green, everybody looking to try to make it to lap 66, and then come on down, take their tires to get to the end of this thing. But check in on the 78 of Cody Bame and the number 5 of Andy Kurtz. Andy driving a new ride, normally in well, he drives a couple different schemes, but I like that paint scheme. It's a good looking car. Gets a big run off the corner, goes down to the inside of Cody. Going to slide up in front of him and take that position. So move Andy up to 7th places. Man, he really did a slide job there as the 78 going to do the crossover. It may work a little bit as Andy wasn't off the top side, so didn't get that huge run. So Cody drives down into the inside, not able to get him cleared to do a slide job. The 5 going to keep it wound up right up against the fence. And, man, these guys are getting with it. I like to see it. Andy might clear him before he gets to turn 3. And he does, so. Cody going to fight back there on the inside a little bit, but I think the run of the 5 is going to give him that position. But Cody's still there. He gets a nice run off the bottom, so right on his bumper. He's going to jump down to the inside. Great battle between these guys. Finally, Andy is able to make that pass work and get that position, so he'll take sole custody of the 7th position. Let's go check on the lead. We know we haven't really been talking about them. Trying to talk about these battles, these other playoff drivers that are trying to make themselves, put themselves in good position to be there. Right now, Michael Kostic still about a second away. When the pit cycled out, he was about 1.1, so it really hasn't changed. He's caught him just a little bit, but see if we can pull up the lap time history, and we'll actually do this right here, and you can see Pope makes up a good bit of time, loses just a little bit, so looks like they're pretty much dead even, sort of netting a little bit towards Daniel Pope, but you can kind of see Pope. I can't tell if it's Pope that's a little not consistent or what. Right there, they almost ran similar lap times, almost exactly, but you see almost a 2/10 swing every once in a while. So I don't know if that's Kostic getting loose a little bit, or if Pope just finds something one lap, gets a nice run, and the next lap not able to reproduce it. But Kostic got Al Renecki all over his back bumper, so he's got plenty to think about. As you start to see the darkness really set in, lights from the track really illuminating the track now, and you can see the lights bouncing off the cars, so we are in prime weather for this track. As it starts to cool off, the grip levels are going to come up a little bit. Lap times are going to get a little bit faster. Doggone it, if you're tighter, it's going to get even worse. So Al Renecki sort of stalking the 3. Definitely could see that he's gotten a little bit faster. Actually really impressive, just considering how tough the aero model is, especially in the oval cars. You get right to the back bumper, really loses a lot of downforce off the front of the car, makes it difficult to continue running the line you're running. But Al Renecki doing a great job of staying with that 3. You look over to the side over there, you'll see that we've got playoff drivers all over the field as they're kind of peppered in everywhere. You got Kostic running in 2nd, Al Renecki 3rd, Jason Warren in 5th, Josh Oswald in 9th. Jonathan Cofield has made his way into the top 10. Jason Loshik running 12th, Tyler Rice 16th, Brandon Pollock is 19th. Continue watching this battle. Just so even these drivers are. As you see Griff up there going a lap down. He actually going through the grass. I don't know if he's got a problem with his wheel or what, but 12 car. Oh, he's got a right front that's down. Oh, it looks like a major hit to the right front of that 12 machine. Oh, he has drifted. I bet my man's throwing sparks, man. He's I don't know if he's gonna make it in his box. He does, man. What a fireworks show from the 12. As gonna get a fast repair and get back out there. But man, that was awesome. Let's see if we can actually go back and watch that again on the Kinder Farm Ranch Record Rewind. You can see he's gotten into the wall. Sparks just flying. He's trying to keep it out of the racing surface and get on that access road. And just so tough right there trying to deal with that. Did a great job of not causing a caution as he guns it just to make sure he makes it into pit road. And he does make it to get that fast repair. So pretty impressive by the 12 machine. All right, well, while we were watching that, Alan Renecki able to take over that second place position. So now Alan, the top running playoff driver. You know, if you're Alan Renecki, Michael Kostick, like I said, the win is great. It just helps you not have to worry about the next race. But man, these guys, the points are they're in such good shape that, you know, a third place for Michael Kostick, while he would be disappointed, would still be a really good points day, and pretty much solidifies himself in the final four. Not officially, but I mean, if we pull up the standings right here and just kind of see Michael Kostick at 1540, he's been running up front. Al Renecki, they're tied, so they would flip flop. But Jason Warren running in third or fifth, so you know they'll kind of close up on him a little bit. But you know, then Jason Lottridge, he's running back in 13th. So Brandon Pollock is a lap down. So not too much stress if you're up there running in the top 5. I think if you're up there, you got to feel pretty good about your chances. Well, we'll check in on our leader, see if he everything looks good for him. We'll move on. Looks like he's got it pretty well covered. We'll go back and watch this little battle, see if something develops out of Jason Lottridge, Brandon Wallace, and Chuck Feltz. And again, want to say happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. Know it's an important day for a lot of folks, and I cannot be more thankful and appreciative for what some of these guys have been through, gone through for the price of freedom. Some things that they've seen and done. I can't be more thankful and more. I don't know why I'm struggling for words here. Probably should just shut up. But just admiration, man. Just admiration for all these veterans, and just a wonderful day to celebrate them. But right now, got a pit road starting to light up as Jason Warren comes down pit road, going to lead the charge in 5th place. Cody Bain coming with him, Josh Oswald, Steve McDonald, and Charles Stevens all coming down pit road to make their final stop. It'll have to be their final stop because they ain't got no more tires, thanks to Bubba Wallace, as Bubba's tire barn is empty. There ain't nothing left, so you see all 4 tires going on these cars. So 32 laps. As Jason Warren comes back off pit road, trying to do a little undercut, try to make up some of this time that he's down. Just so tough if you're not moving forward every time to make up some ground. Just no caution, just really surprised. Everybody comes off pit road, but Daniel Pope's still out on track. And he has 1.3 second lead over Alan Renecki, so there's no point in him coming down pit road. You just stay out. If you're pulling away, you keep that that train rolling. You know, if anybody in the top 5, you know, top 4 pits, probably a good time to come on down to protect that undercut. But if they don't pit, stay out as long as you can. Come down pit road, they stay out a couple more laps, you get a caution, you'll end up trapped the lap down. All right, Aaron Adcock, we hadn't talked too much about him. Started 6th, he's running 5th. But he's going to bring that Monster Energy Chevrolet down pit road. Jason Lottridge coming in as well. So sort of a second round of pit stops coming down. Every 10th of a second matters when you get on an off pit road for green flag pit stop. Michael Kostick, Michael Nash coming down pit road. Boy, they've been following each other's footsteps all race long. I believe they came down like this last pit stop. So final pit stops being done. I would imagine Daniel Pope, Alan Renecki going to be coming down pit road shortly. Daniel stays out on the track. So does Alan. So Alan running down Pope a little bit as he is. You can see he's not that far away. He's gotten it down to a second. So Alan Renecki on this extremely long run has definitely has enough car left to try to run down the 16 machine. And the longer they stay out, though, the more that those new tires with Michael Kostick, Michael Nash, Jason Warren, they're all going to make up so much time. Here comes Daniel Pope. He comes down pit road, tries to make that speed limit of 50 miles an hour. Looks like he's able to make it. Al Renecki going to stay out on track, hoping for a caution. If he can get a caution, he can trap a lot of guys lap down. Al Renecki last pitted on lap 37. So trying to stretch this thing as much as he can. And he stays out one more time. Ooh, 21 of Michael Morrison. Getting really loose there. Well, while we got a minute, waiting for Alan Renecki to come down pit road, talk about our sponsors. Want to thank Warren School of Racing Etiquette, Flexible Freight Solutions, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Chuck Peg Leg Felts for sponsoring the Peg Leg Pole Award, Lodger's Brake Pedals, Thunderstruck Super Series, Kinder Farm and Ranch, and Brandon Wallace's Used Tires. As we see now Al Renecki coming down pit road, make his final stop. We'll see how this all plays out. I would imagine now they're going to be a little bit behind the 8-ball as we actually go back on track. And side by side, Michael Kostick with that undercut, fighting hard. Daniel Pope not gonna let him get by with without a whole lot of effort. So. Al Renecki still on pit road. The jacks have finally dropped, and he is going to be heading out. But these guys are flying by right now, so they should overtake him pretty quickly as he's on the access road. You saw that green car. So he is just getting up to speed, so he's got a lot of time to make up, a lot of cars to pass. So he's shown that he has the ability to do it, but he's not going to have the same amount of time that he had before. He ran, he pitted on lap 39, and so, or 37, excuse me. So he ran quite a bit of time, but 25 laps is not near as long as what he just ran. So can't really wait around if you're Allen, because he is currently running in 7th place after being a second out of the lead. Go back up front. Daniel Pope laying down some heaters. Last lap ran a 33.6. That's dang near 4/10 faster than everybody else on new tires. So he is really getting with it as Brandon Wallace gives up the lead, comes down pit road, and makes his final stop here with 25 laps to go here at Homestead in the Arca Series. Daniel Pope will assume the lead to Michael Kosick right behind him. Michael going to have to find a little bit of speed here as he is the short run speed of Daniel Pope is pretty impressive here. He's been hanging on to that. As you can see the difference between those two drivers the last 3 laps. Pope has really dropped the hammer. So but been a really awesome race. I've really enjoyed this green flag racing. Seeing how everybody navigates the green flag pit stops, having to do 2 of them is really tough. Everybody doing a great job. I've only seen a couple issues as we go back here and watch this battle between Michael Nash and Jason Warren. Jason in the 3rd spot, pitted about 4 laps before Michael, so was able to get ahead of him. So that means Michael has 4 lap fresher tires, which makes a big difference right now. As you know, the fall off is pretty quick. It doesn't take but 5-10 laps, and you're off half a second already. So 22 laps to go. I know Daniel Pope just like, please, no caution. And there's a lot of guys back here that would love to see one. We'll go back here and look at Jonathan Cofield, who had made himself into the top 10, but just hasn't really been able to make up much ground out after that. A tough back half of the season, man. Just so strong all season long. And, you know, I don't know all the details, so I don't know what's happened, but there's been a couple penalties, and I don't think I have all the information on it, so I'm not going to speak on it. But, yeah, a couple penalties, I think, and it's kind of put him behind the 8 ball. He's going to have to be in a must-win situation next week at Rockingham. But yeah, there ain't no doubt in my mind he can get it done. But currently running in the 10th position, 4 seconds back from Josh Oswald in 9th, and 16 seconds back from the leader Daniel Pope. So love to see a caution. Everybody's tires are pretty much good. You know, nobody's got a set left. And unless someone, you know, did something funny, but I think if you tried to stretch your save a set, I think you're probably a lap down, so it's not going to really do you that much good. But everybody's good on tires, so, you know, bunch everybody up, see what you got. Some guys probably love to see that as we go. Watch Al Renecki, 7th. He was in 7th, and he has made his way back up to 4th. He has got the freshest tires out of the bunch. And currently right now, the fastest car on the track, he is 2/10 faster than both. No, he's 2/10 faster than all 3 drivers in front of him. And he's got 3.7 seconds to make up on Daniel Pope. So does he have enough time? I think he does. I mean, I think 19 laps. He's right there. You see Daniel Pope drove by, and then, you know, only 3.5 seconds now. It gets harder and harder as you get up here. Michael Nash not going to just roll over. That's for dang sure. So you're going to have to fight to get around him. Then you have to fight to get around Michael Kosick. So it's an uphill battle for Allen. But, you know, with 4 or 5 lap fresher tires, that does give you a little bit of confidence that you otherwise wouldn't have to be able to make these moves and make these passes quick. You don't have a whole lot of time to dilly-dally around. Al Renecki having no issues getting to the back bumper of Michael Nash, but you just see the difference of that arrow, what it does to the car. They seem to be running similar lap or lines, and that just dumps a whole lot of dirty air on that 72 machine. I don't know how accurate iRacing is, but I can tell you it is a lot like real life when it comes to aero and how it affects your car. I mean, you can have a really, really good car, maybe feel like you're the best driver in the field, and get behind or be running third or fourth and just not able to go anywhere. So it's interesting how well they make it work. If you put any of these drivers right here in the top 5 out front, I think they probably pull away, but you just see how Allen just having a tough time. Of course, Michael Nash been fast all night long, so I think Allen a little bit stronger on the long run, so I do expect to see him make this pass as he looks down to the inside now, and he's going to get a run down the straightaway with only 14 laps to go if he needs to make quick work if he's going to get up front. Both driving extremely different lines. Michael Nash going to fight off that top side, gets all the way to the wall, and gets a huge run down the back straightaway. And Allen has no choice but to go back at it. Going to get right to his bumper. Oh, thought about maybe jumping up to that right rear quarter to get to his outside. That's a pretty good move there if he can make that work. But Michael Nash really defending that top line, does not want to give that up. Did you see the strength of it, just being able to fight off another driver? Just see the run. 27 machine gets off the corner and down the back straightaway. Just insane. Just talking about that with somebody the other day, just how awesome it was. Oh my goodness, see Alan Renecki trying to get to that right rear quarter panel and gets just a little bit too loose. Really needed to get that done right then if he had a chance to do anything from here on out. But it's just going to be a battle here for third place. But was talking about how iRacing really, I think struck gold whenever they figured out how to make the top line, the bottom line sort of equal, where you could run in a couple different spots. Really opens the door for all kinds of racing, all kinds of chess matches and stuff that go on as you try to find clean air for your car, and you also try to move around, find some speed. The top line really fast, especially when you're side by side. The top line almost unbeatable in some places. You see as the tires start to wear how good the top line can be. However, there's with positives, there's always some sort of negatives, and running up top really burns the tires off on the right side. Really heats them up, and they start to wear really quickly. And you see Michael Nash actually, defending whenever Allen looks to the inside, all on the top side. But as soon as he can get clear, he moves right down in front of Allen, down on the bottom to preserve that right front and not get in the situation where he burns it up and 72 able to just drive on by. But I can tell you right now, the 27 is not going to have a single easy lap for the rest of this race. Renecki not quite able to do a slider. Does stay neck and neck with him there on the backstretch, which has been a problem. And looks like he's going to be able to clear him here. Took a lot of patience, but was able to get it done. And a pretty quick work of him there. That was impressive. 8 laps to go. He's got almost 4 seconds to Daniel Pope, which is really stretched his lead out 1.8 seconds over Michael Kostick. Kostick every once in a while will run a little bit faster lap, but you'll see that it's just not going to be enough. Going to need a caution to try to get this win. If Pope makes a big mistake, you know, has to get out of the gas or something, that could be something that Costa can take advantage of. But right now it looks like Daniel Pope, with that pit strategy, with a great on and off pit road that he had, able to take control of this race. Six laps is a long time here at Homestead, especially if you're leading. You feel like I've got this in the bag. 33, 34, 35-second lap. Times take forever to go on. And you're just sitting there saying, please don't wreck. Nobody wreck, please. you just know it's going to happen. And so you just sit there and you get all that time to think about it. Travis Beaver coming down pit road in that Ally 114 machine. Don't know if that's a scheduled pit stop. I don't know if he had to pit early and needed some fuel. Only 5 seconds on pit road, so that could be a faster pair. It could be just a little bit of fuel. Definitely no tires there, so gave up probably about the 11th place position. Going to come out around 16th. Check in a battle here. This is for 5th place. Aaron Adcock to the back bumper of that 45 machine. Come off of turn 2. You see Aaron ran behind the 45 in the entry of the corner, and then dropped down to the bottom off and got a really nice run, was able to clear him before turn 3, and that was all she wrote to be able to make that pass. So really, really awesome job there by Aaron Adcock. About 3 lap fresher tires than Jason. Jason's tires starting to wear out. He was the first to come down pit road, so starting to see the wear really start to set in for that 45 machine. Go up front. With just a few laps to go, Al Renecki is really closed in on the 3 of Michael Kostick. Currently he's battling back there with Brandon Wallace, but he's going to clear him now. So 2 laps to go. How big a difference will 4 laps make here? Yeah, I mean, he's definitely there. He's going to have about 3 corners to make it happen. White flag is out, though, for Daniel Pope as he goes down into turn 1 as we watch this battle between Michael Kostick. This is a battle for championship position. I mean, these guys tied going into this race, so this is a big deal here. If Allen can get there, that could be a big boost going into the Final Four, but doesn't look like he's going to have enough time. He's going to drive deep down in the corner, but just don't think he's going to have enough to get there. But Daniel Pope going to win in dominating fashion in the second half for sure. And, man, just takes home the victory in a great, great race. Dropped back a couple spots from the start of the race and just fired back on those older tires and never gave it up. Michael Kostick, Alan Renecki, 2 playoff drivers. Really good racing. Good finishes for them. That will help them in the points. But your winner tonight is Daniel Pope. As you look down the results, Daniel Pope, Kostick, Renecki. You got Michael Nash, who finished in 4th. Aaron Adcock gets a top 5 out of that. Jason Warren going to come home in 6th. Cody Boehm in 7th. Jonathan Cofield, after that, what I think was either a stop and go or starting from the pits, recovers with only green flag racing and comes home in eighth place. Really, really impressive. That's what you got to do if you're going to win championships, for sure. So, would love to have seen a caution. I'm sure he would have loved to seen a caution, but still a pretty good recovery. Josh Oswald doing what he needs to do, finishing in ninth. Charles Stevens in 10th. Steve McDonald in 11th. Chuck Pegleg Phelps in 12th. 13th, Tyler Rice. Uh, Jason Lottridge in 14th. Brandon Wallace 15th. Travis Beaver 14th. Or 16th. 17th, Michael Morrison. 18th, Brandon Pollock. 19th, William Griffith. 20th, Andy Kurtz. And 21st, Jesse Necula. So tonight, though, your Cofield Hard Luck Award is going to go to Andy Kurtz, as having some internet issues and took him out of the race. He was having a pretty good run, solidly in the top 10, and that took him out of contention. So he is the Cofield Asphalt Finishing Hard Luck Award winner. But let's talk some drivers, man. I want to hear some of their thoughts, what they thought about the race, and let's get some of their opinions on things. And we'll start with Al Renecki here for third place. Alan, this Eddie in the booth, you got me? Hold on one second. Let me get the. Seems like Windows moved my stuff. All right, say it again. You there?
Yeah, I got you, Eddie.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. That's my fault. Well, man, a fantastic race. We talked to you a lot about not qualifying, and I think tonight you qualified in fifth place, started up towards the front, and you ran up there all race long. Stayed out a little bit on that last pit stop, and was able to fire back and get almost back to Michael, but just came up a little bit short. What did you need? Was it raw speed? Was it just things to go your way? What did you need to maybe get up there and get the win?
I needed some lap cars to slow the 16 down. It's about the only way I was going to catch them.
Well,
But me and the 3 and the 27, we all raced pretty close side by side all night, so that was fun.
Well, was it? I know it had to have been frustrating. It looked like it was fun. It was definitely fun to watch. But and not definitely, the 27 wasn't gonna get out of the way. But was it frustrating knowing as you got to him and you just couldn't get around him, knowing how much faster and the fresher tires. How frustrating was that? Was it really hard to pass? Did it take a good amount of time to set up a pass? What was it like out there trying to navigate that traffic?
I definitely didn't expect them to move. That's kind of the whole racing deal. It just took a couple laps to figure out where you could get around them and be faster, and it wasn't like you could try it on your own and figure it out. So everyone was kind of running that low line, and to get around somebody, you either had to be faster on entry or exit.
Well, what was the strategy? I don't know. The strategy to stay out a little bit longer, considering that you were about a second away from Daniel there at the end of that second run. What was the thought process of staying out a little bit longer and coming in, 4 laps later than everybody else?
The main thing was if we happened to get a caution, I'd have 4 lap newer tires. I didn't think we were going to get a caution, but then the other motto is if you follow the leader, you'll just continue to follow the leader. So got to try something different.
Well, that's absolutely right. Well, third place, you almost had second, but as far as the point standings go, that sets you up really pretty going into the cutoff race at Rockingham. How you feel about Rockingham, man? How does that jive with you, or make you nervous, or do you feel pretty good about it going into that race?
I'll have to turn some laps and see if I can try to save some tire because um, I probably won't have blazing speed. So I'll just have to keep up on saving tire.
Well, wear your mouthpiece because it'll break your teeth. But man, congratulations, Alan. It's been a great season. Just a couple races to close it out for you, and tonight really really good race, up 2 spots from where you started. In green flag racing, that's pretty impressive. So as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsors, shout outs?
Just the admins of the league, the rest of the drivers that were racing tonight. It's fun having a green flag race and being able to race guys clean. And then shout out to our veterans.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Alan. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right. I like these guys that are fellas, a few words. We got another one of those right here. Michael Kostick, Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Well, man, fantastic race from you. A lot of fun to watch. I always expect you to be there at the end of runs, and just where you're hung around the second place literally all night. If somebody else get up to the lead, you'd fall back to third, then you get second back, and then someone else they flip flop, and you're just kind of right there. And come down a little bit earlier than Daniel, and was able to make up a good amount of time on that last pit stop. You were almost a second faster than most, getting on and off pit road, so you made up a ton of time and came out, about a second behind him, but just couldn't reel him in. What did you need to maybe get up there and take that lead away from him?
More talent, probably. Yeah, that last run, I seemed to wear the rear tires out for some reason. I didn't do that the first two runs, so I just got real loose. Anytime I tried to switch lines up, I just couldn't make up any ground.
Yeah, we didn't really see the high line really materialize to, some people were making, some different passes and stuff, but as far as it seemed like to be just more of a I need to pass someone quickly or defend line. Is that what you kind of felt as far as, running in the high line, running up high?
Yeah, it's when Daniel come off pit road, I was just trying to get by him as quick as possible because I think if I could have got in front of him, if I could have just shifted a lane up, I could have probably held him off, or at least uh, done a little bit better. But yeah, he got the high side and was just able to get in front and just pull away.
Well, no shame in that game, man. But to be the highest finishing playoff driver, that's got to feel good going into the penultimate race next week at Rockingham. It's going to set you pretty good for the point standings. We don't have an official standings, but nobody locked themselves in, so there's not an automatic win in. So Rockingham coming up, got to feel pretty good about your chances to move on to the Final Four. What's the plan next week? I mean, with you can still win and immediately go in, but Rockingham can kind of be a wild, sort of a wild. I like that it's a cutoff race as a broadcaster because it seems like it could be a wild race with these cars. How you feeling about it going into that race?
I mean, Rockingham's a fun track to drive in anything, so it's going to be a good time. But probably game plan is just going to be drive smart and stay out of trouble.
Well, you've done a good job of it so far this season. Looking forward to seeing if you can make it to the Final Four. And, man, as always, who you got to thank? Any sponsors, shout-outs?
Yeah, thank you for doing the broadcast. Brandon Wallace for his great admin duties, and my teammates at Bandits.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on second place finish. We'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right. We'll bring our winner, Daniel Pope.
Hey, man.
It's Eddie in the booth, man. Glad to see you again. And, man, a winner tonight at Homestead, one of my favorite tracks, one of my favorite cars, and you put them together, and it's just a monster of a race. A lot of fun. Is that what you kind of felt? Did you have fun out there, or it seemed like you were all over the place, slipping and sliding, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if I'm doing 360s on the track. If I'm in the lead, I'll do them all day. So kind of talk me through your race, man. How'd it go for you?
It was a pretty good race, pretty fun race. I had a lot of fun racing side by side early before that first pit stop. I had a phenomenal entry to pit lane, exit to pit lane, pit stops that kind of separated me from the group, and I think that was really the difference in what we seen there and the gap I had. So luckily, he wasn't in the race to kill me. So.
Well, I don't think I could have done anything with the top three. Y'all were blazing fast. Allen trying to make his way, stayed out a little bit longer, was really running you down at the end of that first run or the second run, and then stayed out a little bit long. And I was interested to see if he was going to be able to make it back up to you, but just too much pace. Your entry and exit on pit road, we noted that during the race, just too good. making up, get every bit that you could. So, man, just a dominating race on the second half. It was fun to watch y'all kind of race. I see you do it a lot early on in the races. You sort of you take care of your stuff. You might let somebody go for the lead and then try to fight them back. What's the thought process for that? Because I see you do that almost every week. Are you just feeling out the competition? Or feeling out the car? What is it that you're just, hey, let me just let a couple guys go and just blaze back by them?
Well, honestly, it boils down to I have absolutely no idea what I need to do pace-wise to save tires right now. I'm still learning that, coming off of running the short tracks on iRacing, because there's no tire fall off on short tracks. So it's basically me letting people go to try to pick up a pace, try to pick up a rhythm that I need to run so that I don't burn the tires off and just overdrive the car early. And once I can get my mind and get my rhythm and kind of see what the other guys are doing for pace, I can control the race at that point, I feel like. And then I try to get back in front of those guys and try to run maybe 5 or 10% harder than they are to see if I can pull them into running their tires off, which sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. So it's just part of the fun, part of the game. I think if I spend some time running with you guys and I come back around to these tracks another time, I'll kind of know what I need to do for pace and tire saving. But it's like tonight. Tonight's probably the first time I've run that car on that track ever. So it's interesting to try to learn it on the fly, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, and you're racing against some of the best, in my opinion, some of the cleanest. These guys are super smart too. You never go into a race and you kind of think, oh, I got this, because man, the guys that you're racing around up there at the front, they're some wizards and they'll pull one on you. And but tonight, didn't pull one over on you as you were able to get the win and take home the victory. 2 in a row, Daniel. What are you trying to do, man? Trying to make all the playoff drivers look bad? What's going on? Maybe take a week off next week, But no, I'm just kidding. Glad to have you as always. I said it many times. All the guys that you brought in been a lot of fun to race around, and so glad to have you. But man, floor is yours, man. Who you got to thank? Any sponsors, shout outs?
Yeah, I want to just like I always do every week, shout out to the Rebels League, you guys that run it, and the broadcast team let me come race late in the season. As I've said past, you show a lot of trust in me, and I appreciate it, and I try to pay it back with my guys and how we race and how we respect the league, and of course all the guys over at SPM and all our different divisions, and I always got to thank Jason Warren. Without Jason Warren, motivating me on a daily basis with, constant pep talks, I don't know if I could run as good as I do. So, that's it.
Yeah, if we could put that in a bottle, man, we could make $1 million. So, man, congratulations. Another win. You got plenty of time. You can make it 4 in a row. Might as well try it, I guess. And looking forward to seeing what you can do at Rockingham. Seems to be, starting to creep closer to a short track. Makes me a little scary. I don't want to get on short track with you. And but Rockingham, a lot of fun to beating and banging. I told Alan he's gonna have to bring his mouthpiece. It'll beat him to death. So hope that you run that one. Seemed like it'd be a lot of fun. I think that car track combo has got to be the best. So
I should be able to run. Let's see. I should be able to run next week, but then I'll be out, so I won't get to run your season finale.
Well, all right, man. Well, congratulations on the win. Just a dominant performance, definitely on the back 66% for sure. So congratulations again, 2 in a row.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, there you have it. What a fantastic race, man. I love the Arca series. I get a little wordy on these questions just because I want to hear what these guys have to say. I never get to race these dang cars, and they seem like a lot of fun. But another good one tonight. So if you go back and watch this, hope you enjoyed it. And just another show put on by these guys. So looking forward to next week as we take on Rockingham, and then we finish in Charlotte, man. We'll see who's going to win and take home the Arca Championship. I think it's one of the most coveted in this series. And, dang, I wish I had one. I wish I had me one of those things. But anyway, Charles Stevens, still the champion. He comes home in 10th place. Going to be the Hard Charger Award tonight as he makes up 11 spots, finishes in 10th. Needed a caution. I think there's a lot of guys out there tonight that had they got a caution, we might have seen a different outcome of this race. But it just shows the quality of drivers, the quality of the series. Go green flag all the way, and shows the importance of qualifying, being up front. If you start in the back, you don't get those caution flags. Makes it very, very difficult to make your way through the field. So qualifying up front, getting those good starting positions means everything. But anyway, thanks y'all for watching Rebel Race Network. I'm Eddie Smith, and we will see y'all next week.